Welcome to the Unesh value train. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, we've got one land. Let's go on Mulligan. I like Rogue's Passage. It's a good way for us to get some smuggling going with Unesh, but at this point, it's not that good. Do we want this hand? We hit the land drop. We're looking at Jay's Lightning Greaves for another creature. Yeah, let's go on Mulligan. If we had a two-lander, I would keep on this one. Okay, we got Remand, so we hopefully can go for an early tempo play and get a card draw going. Yeah, we'll keep on this one. There we go. All right. Stubborn Denial. Let's go ahead and put that on the bottom for right now. All right. Opponents on the play, so we'll go and let them do their thing. Now, we actually do have Commandeer. Exile 2 blue cards from the hand, gain control of target non-creature spell. We get to choose new targets for it. So what I think we can do... Well, actually, no, I don't think that works. You know, if they go for something like Cultivate, we might be able to... we'll see. I always forget about Commandeer. I'm always recording a video and I think I'm going to do it right, and then something, I do something wrong and I'm like, dang it. I just like go down on value. It doesn't work. All right, anything else? We get the island down. We're going to go and pass turn to our opponent. We're playing Unesh, Criosphinx Sovereign, the official driver of the value train into outer space, where you are encouraged to follow your dreams. Flying. Sphinx spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. Whenever Unesh or another Sphinx enters the battlefield under your control, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Opponent's going to put those into 2 piles. We're going to be able to put 1 pile into our hand and then the other pile into our graveyard. Play against Atraxa, Praetors Voice. Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, and Lifelink. Then at the beginning of your instep, Proliferate. Opponent's going to go for an Everflowing Chalice, kicked 1 time. Yeah, that's fine. Go for it. I was thinking we had Remand mana, but we don't have Remand mana. That's not going to work. Let's go and get down Island, and then we'll have Remand mana, and then hopefully we'll get a good card draw. We're going to kick the turn over there. But yes, we did cover both commanders. Just free time. We can talk about whatever we want. But before we start talking, I wanted to thank you all for deciding to ride on the value train into outer space today. I know there's a lot of transportation lines that you could have taken, and for you to support a small business with Unesh and I, it does mean a lot. You know, we like to encourage people to follow their dreams, and we like to send them into outer space. And the fact that you're going to ride with us today, it makes me and Unesh really happy, and it makes Unesh a happy driver, which makes the ride go a little bit smoother. So I just wanted to get that out there. I was going to get down Island. We did take care of that Signet, bouncing it back. Do we want to go and get down Videlican Shackles? I think that sounds good. Let's go and tap out for 1, 2, 3. And then anything else, kick the turn back over to our opponent. Like I said, we cover both commanders. But yes, welcome to the value train. Hope you like that. But yeah, as far as Unesh goes, if you haven't seen Unesh before, let's say you're new to the channel, maybe you came here by the way of some of the Dominaria commanders that I've done. This is pretty much just a kind of a value style deck. We're looking to get Unesh down, get those Factor Fictions going for 4 mana, and then, not for 4 mana, for 4 cards, and then really start training together a bunch of Sphinxes. You know, we can win with combat damage in the... Ooh, Panharmonicon. Hey, let's go and go for that. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Get that down really quick, and then we're going to go and pass the turn. But yeah, so basically we're looking to get Unesh down, get those, just really get that value going with those revealing the 4 cards, and then start chaining together some master... Get some Sphinxes going. And when you get that reduced cost off Unesh, and there's going to be some times to where, let's say we have Unesh down, and we have, there's another card in here that is... Ours is Incubator. We name Sphinx off of that, and the next thing you know, we're just going for 2 mana, Factor Fictions, and just getting some really good value. And as the game wears on, once you have a lot of good stuff in your hand, one of the fun things that you can do is simply just, choose a pile that has a Sphinx in it, because odds are you're going to be able to keep that train going, or just kind of keeping that value going. And ends up becoming a little overwhelming for our opponents. See if we get the lane drop, we'll get Serum Visions. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go and do this. Let's go and go for Serum Vision. It's going to be 1, 2. And we might... Oh, yeah, let's go and put the island on top. I like that. We have Burnish Heart. We're going to scry 2, draw 1. Draw a card, then scry 2. I was going to put Burnish Heart on the bottom. We're going to put island on top of our library. Let's go get down Monolith. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I like that. Get that Monolith, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass turn to our opponent. Now, our opponent does have the Manipulator out there. Gain control target creature with a +1 counter as long as you can as long as you control the Manipulator on the battlefield. So that's something if we can, we may want to try and bounce that back to the hand if we're going to go for Unesh. But with Panharmonicon, we're going to have double enter the battlefield trigger. So hopefully, with us only having 4 islands on the battlefield, even if they do gain control of it, we can always bounce it back and then still get Unesh back. So it's not the end of the world if they go for an activation off Unesh. It'll actually be okay if that's the case. Opponent's going to go for Eternal Witness on Bloodstained Mire. So it looks like they are a little bit stuck on mana. They don't really have access to white mana at this point right now to get down Atraxa, which is okay because, like I said, Atraxa really embarrassed herself on the last time she was on the value train. We had to kick her off. All right, and our opponent did crack that Bloodstained Mire, grabbing a Godless Shrine and shocking it onto the battlefield. So, see if they're going to show up for a turn, but we are definitely online for Unesh. Opponent's going to go for Hangerback Walker for 1. And it's really, I can't tell you how refreshing it is to play against an Atraxa deck that's, not Planeswalkers. That is so, that's really, really nice. I really enjoy that. Okay, opponent's going to pass the turn. See what we draw into. Draw into that island that we had on top from Serum Vision. It's going to get the island down. Let's go and go for Unesh. I think I like this. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. And we'll get those double factor fictions going. Now, we can go for Videlican Shackles, gain control of target creature. We can get control of the manipulator if that's something that we want to go for. Yeah, actually, I think I like going for that. And we'll have just enough mana for it, too. All right, we're going to go for Unesh. Let's go and get that down. Actually, excuse me, let's get that popped out. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and gain control of manipulator. There we go. We do have 5 islands. That is sitting at a 2/2. So it's going to be before they can go for that graph trigger. So once we do gain control of it, I'm not entirely sure how that graph trigger is going to work, essentially. But if our opponent, oh, there we go. Let's say if our opponent had some sort of 1-mana spot removal, it's not really going to hurt us too bad. We're still going to get those into the battlefield. Yes, we're going to use that ability. We'll go ahead and grab that island. Let's get Unesh popped out. I hate it when it does that. All right, we're going to go and grab that island, have that come into play tapped. Gain control of the manipulator. And let's see, our opponent wants to split this pile up. Now, we do have 6 islands on the battlefield. We have no lands in the hand at this point right now. But depending on how they split it up, I'm A-okay with grabbing Teleria West. We might end up grabbing Glyph Keeper now that I think about it. Yeah, I simply just want to get that low cost on the Sphinxes to kind of keep that value going. Oh, there we go. Urza's Incubator. Depending on how they split it up, the 2 good cards are going to be Extra Planar Lens and Urza's Incubator. So I would assume that they would kind of split it up into 2 different piles to make us make a choice. But if they don't, we're pretty much going to take probably the Urza's Incubator pile or the pile 2 for sure. Y'all take that in a heartbeat. All right. Did we make the lane drop for the turn? Yes, we did. Anything else? We're going to go and pass turn to our opponent. Now, we are online for Commandeer. Oh, yeah, dang it. You know what I think about it? I was chatting that we had Commandeer, so we could have redirected that over there. So we still have it in the hand. We can get rid of a few more stuff if we need to, but that's pretty much going to be us getting rid of Cyclonic Rift or 2 of our Sphinxes. So yeah, I could have gone for that Commandeer. Sorry about that. Sometimes when you get wrapped up in commentary, kind of forget about that card way off to the left as you're looking at the board state. I know that sounds silly, but it's hard to keep track of it sometimes. All right, opponent's going to get down to Photo Druid, so we could have got around that one, but thankfully we've got some good mana going with Monolith, and we'll get down to Urza's Incubator. Do we want to put no, we're okay on that one. We'll see if we can't grab something else. No, we're not going to put that on there. Now, what we can do is gain control of target creature with a +1 counter on it. So we can gain control of Hangerback Walker. If it keeps getting those proliferate triggers from Atraxa, something we can gain control of. We'll have to see if our opponent's going to be able to get something to bring their manipulator back. But at this point right now, at least we're going to have full option to kind of gain control of whatever our opponent's going to get out there if it is a kind of a +1 counter focus stack. Opponent's going to go for the Nissa activation, get a plant token onto the battlefield. And then we have Eternal Witness swinging in for 2, putting us down to 26. All right. Do we want to untap Videlican? No, we'll leave. We don't want to untap Videlican Shackles. All right, yeah, we don't hold on to Manipulate. Sorry, I was just kind of prompting. It's the first time I've had Videlican Shackles on the battlefield, and I wanted to make sure I was doing it correctly. All right, so we draw into Jace. Let's do this. Let's go and go for Urza's Incubator. Yeah, I think I'd like that. Let's go for Urza's Incubator. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. And we're going to name Sphinx off this one. Which is it always feels good to name just a random tribe off Urza's Incubator. Do we want to go for Extra Planar Lens? Yeah, I think I like that. It's going to end up with a bunch of mana. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to take advantage of it this turn, but at least with us exiling one of the islands, and then we're not going to use that other trigger. You may exile target land that you control. Okay. We're going to click no on that one. And then we'll go and click yes on that one. Our opponent doesn't have any islands out there. Click yes on that, and then anything else. Let's go and get down to Teleria West. We could transmute for land if we needed to, but I kind of like going for that. Anything else, we're going to kick the turn over our opponent. Now, we do have Commandeer in the hand, like I mentioned earlier. Gain control of target non-creature spell, choose new targets for it. So if they do go for something to either blast us or something like that, we can get that Commandeer going, and hopefully kind of deflect something from our opponent. That's one of the fun things about running this Commandeer in a mono blue deck like this, is that you get in these spots to where you end up with so many blue cards in your hand that you can really take advantage of something like Commandeer and kind of get that going. But as far as next turn goes, Unesh is back in the command zone. We're going to get a reduced cost off the Urza's Incubator. So basically, it's going to be like we were casting Unesh for the first time. And with extra planar lands on the battlefield, our islands are going to be tapping for 2 mana. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically looking at 10 mana, 11. Let's say that we use 3 of that to untap Monolith. So we're looking at about 8 total mana. So that's going to be just enough for Unesh. And then we'll see what else we want to go for. Whenever you tap a land for mana, add 1 mana, cast a creature spell, draw a card. Okay. I think what had happened one time with Commandeer, and this kind of scared me, is that for some reason, like when I'm recording, and I have a lot of Commander decks on the channel, it's really hard to. I try my best to make sure I'm up to date as far as the cards in the deck. No, we don't want to plant token. No, we don't want to plant token. Yeah, I was trying my best to make sure I'm up to date on the cards in the deck. And there's one time where I thought you just got the spell. If you were casting a creature, not a creature, like an enchantment or something, you could get it, and it would enter your side of the battlefield. And I was recording Unesh one time, and I went for Commandeer activation, and I just misread it in my head. And so I just exiled 2 cards and tried to commandeer something that was a legal commandeer target, but it didn't work the way I was intended. Like with the Spellskite activation, you can use Spellskite activation on anything pretty much, but it won't do anything. And if you ask a judge that, they'll be like, yes, you can target it with Spellskite, but it just still won't do anything. And so, I did that with Commandeer. I just felt kind of silly. All right, draw into Burnished Heart. Yeah, let's go ahead and go for Unesh. I think I like this. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think that sounds good. Let's go and tap out on Unesh. That still gives us 4 mana to go. We're going to have some really good reduced costs. So we're basically looking at about Glyph Keeper and Master of Predicaments. So let's go and get this value going. I like that. All right. Get out Unesh. Get that graph trigger going. No, we're not going to use that on there. Nope. And let's go and get these Fact or Fiction piles going. This is your captain speaking. We're looking on the radar. We might be running into some unexpected values, so we're going to have to go ahead and have you turn on the buckle your seatbelt signs. Thank you very much. As far as our pile, let's go for pile 2. As it gets kind of late game, you end up with a lot of stuff in the hand. You just kind of want to have a counter sometimes. We'll see what we're going to go off this one. Stunt double is going to be really good. That's going to allow us to go for some instant speed flash activation. We'll see if our opponent... But yeah, once you get down Panharmonicon and Urza's Incubator, it's not really a combo deck, but it essentially kind of turns into that. I think at this point right now, we're going to choose pile 1 because we'll have to pay full sticker price for that flash one. Let's go and go for Master of Predicaments. Yeah, it's going to be 1, 2. Oh, and it just, when you start getting double factor fictions, oh, yes, it feels good. And let's do it this way. Let's go and put the grab triggers on the stack first, and that way we make sure that we're okay. All right. So our opponent wants to split this one up. Let's go ahead and choose pile 1. I like to have access to Pongify. We're still going to get an additional pile. Let's go ahead and choose pile 1 on this one. We'll go ahead and take that Force of Will. And then we'll have the graph trigger. No, not going to use that. And then no, not going to use that. We can go for 1 more creature onto the battlefield. Let's go and get Sphinx. Because what's going to be able to happen with that is we definitely do have artifacts online. Just going to tab out for that and get those double enter the battlefield triggers. And then with Sphinx, what we can do is that Metal Craft, we can start bouncing it to get that extra value. And now we're going to have a lot of cards in the hand. We need to, I forgot to add a way for us to shuffle stuff back into our deck sometimes. So that's what makes the value train really fun, is that we get going so fast that you have to worry about decking yourself sometimes. Do we want to choose, we'll go and choose pile 2. Keep that train going. Send Jace into the bin, and then we'll see what's going on this. We've got Pact of Negation too, so we actually have really, really good counter magic up. We have Force of Will in the hand now. We can exile anything. We have Commandeer. We'll go ahead and choose. We have at least 1 more Sphinx though. Yeah, we got 2 Sphinx. So we'll go and choose. I want to get as much protection as possible. I'll choose pile 1. Not going to use Graft. Not going to use Graft. No. Anything else? Let's go and pass turn our opponent. We can't swing in right now at this point right now. But we'll go and kick the turn over our opponent, and let's see what else they can get going. We have a lot of options. We have a lot of stuff we need to discard too. Let's go and get rid of Burnished Heart. We're going to go and get rid of Jace, Architect of Thought. Want to hold on to Cyclonic Rift. Get rid of Island, Leyline of Anticipation, Everflowing Chalice, Island. Get rid of Lonely Sandbar. There's going to be 2 more cards that we have to get rid of. Want to hold on to at least 2 Sphinxes. Yeah, I think I'm okay with getting rid of an Island at this point, and then... Let's go ahead and get rid... Yeah, we'll go and get rid of Sphinx Ambassador. Okay, there we go. All right. kick the turn over to our opponent. We got some good stuff. Now, with Metalcraft, exile it, return to the battlefield at the beginning of the next instep. Depending on what our opponent rolls out, we are online for Disallow, but at the same time, we're also online for Force of Will and Pact and Negation. So pretty much whatever they've got, we can kind of lock them out. Now, as far as combat damage in the air, we're looking at 4, 8, 12. We're looking at 12 total damage. That's going to be a good way for us to really kind of start putting some pressure on our opponent. Opponent's going to get down Abzan Falconer. They're going to draw a card. Each creature you control with a +1 counter. Yeah, that's... Well, we could go for Pongify on that one. Yeah, we're going to let that go. They've got one card in the hand. We'll see what that last card is. No, we're not going to use that on there. That's going to give Hangerback Walker flying, basically. But what we can do is simply just go for Pongify on that one. And it's not like our life total is down way too low to where we have to worry about anything like that. Okay, but let's go for Bring to Light. Yeah, let's go and go for Disallow on that one. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Counter target activated. That's going to be the last card in their hand. It's at least going to stop them. We still have Pongify next turn on Hagerback, which is going to allow us to swing in for 12. That does cut us off Sphinx activation for that metal crap, but we're okay on that one. Opponent's going to go for Atraxa, and then we'll go ahead and go for Force of Will. What do we want to pitch on this one? Yeah, we're going to choose Atraxa. We'll go and pitch Commandeer on this one. There we go. Counter target spell's going to send Atraxa back to the command zone. She kind of ran in the way of the value train, and Unesh just knocked her out of the way, just flying like a madman into outer space. They still get a card draw from Zendikar Research. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing about Unesh driving this conceptual space train into outer space where there's no real destination other than your dreams, and then Atraxa gets in the way, and Unesh just boonk. Just kind of, it's like when you hit one of those construction cones. We're going to hit Atraxa like a construction cone. I like that. All right, and our opponent's going to go ahead and scoop it up on that one. Yeah, once you get the value train going, and that's basically one of the win conditions for the deck. You get down Panharmonicon, and this when I record with the Machu Unesh, typically we never end up getting a lot of complete games because you get the value going so much. You pretty much just have every single answer in your hand. As you can tell, our opponent's sitting at 80 cards in the deck. We're sitting at 51 cards in the deck. So we were able to see 30 cards deeper into our deck than our opponent was. And if you can just get that much advantage into your library, you're typically always going to win the game. For the most part, you're going to win the game as long as something crazy doesn't happen, just because you have just insane card advantage. But you can tell we were able to craft our hand from about 10 or 11 cards down to a perfect hand of a bunch of counter spells. We still have Pact and Negation up, so even if they draw into something, we're still good. And we're able to kind of fight through that misplay with Commandeer. I think we could have stopped that Swords to Plowshare, but you can still see getting down Unesh and getting down Panharmonicon and Urza's Incubator. It's almost kind of like a little combo in a way, but not really a combo. It's just a value combo. But anyway, I'd like to thank you all for flying on the Unesh value train today. Unesh and I certainly appreciate it. And if you enjoyed the ride today, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.